Alrighty, for the first and second inaugural test race session, we have Beckett Friesen on the pole position. We have Jared Clark on the off pole, Andrew Hitchcock third, and we got Nico Sarfati running fourth. Gio Cardone will be in fifth place. All right, they come around for the last corner for the initial little run up here, and it's green, green, green. The race is underway. Beckett, turn one, holding the lead. Let's see what he does going into the last little section over here. Jared Clark, hot on his bumper, looking to the inside. Let's see if he's going to make the move going into this corner. It's going to be a tricky spot to hold on to. We have Gio Cardone currently off. All right, let's go get the onboard of Beckett Friesen currently holding pole position. Gio Cardone parked in the middle of the corner. That's going to be an interesting little section right here with Gio over there on the out. Jared Clark takes the lead going into the four turn. Looks like Nico Sarfati is going to be looking up the inside. Beckett Friesen falling back to third place, but not a big gap up to Jared Clark. We have Nico Sarfati close on the bumper. Oh, and a spin from Beckett. Let's see if he can make up the ground and if Nico and Jared are going to battle a little bit. Looks like Andrew Hitchcock was the one involved in that incident. Let's see what the officials are going to say after the race and what type of time penalty they're going to dish out. Beckett Friesen looking pretty good out of the last section. Let's see if he can make up this ground and if Nico's going to press Jared at all for the win. Solid for turn one and turn two. Looks like Nico's kind of looking up the inside, but he doesn't totally have the gap to get in there and make the pass stick. He's holding on through the little switch back up into the hairpin. Beckett Friesen making up ground right now, only down about 2 seconds, which is actually pretty damn big. All right, there's a little hiccup from Nico. Let's see if that's going to gain Beckett any time to get back up to the front group. Nico Sarfati currently about 3/10 down. What it says on the data is going to be completely inaccurate until they come across the line, but I'm guessing about 3/10 back. Looks like Nico still closed the gap a little bit, but is still going to be 2/10 behind. We're on board with Beckett still, making his way downtown, walking fast, and the faces pass, and looks like he's first place bound. All right, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the Jared Clark cam and see what's going on up at the front. Jared Clark holding the lead strong. Very solid through turn one and turn two. Looks like he's going to hold off Nico and grow that gap just a slight bit. A little bit of understeer, snap oversteer coming with the chassis binding up and giving out in the middle of the corner. But still managing to hold the lead. Let's go to Nico and see what the chase is going to look like. Oh, a little sideways from Nico. Looking like he's still getting used to the kart and the track. The gap growing ever so slightly every single corner. It looks like Nico's hung out to dry. There's not going to be much room for him to get up in the draft unless if Jared makes a big mistake coming up through this last section. Jared abusing those track limits currently, getting almost 2 tires off the track, but making the dust fly up and getting right in Nico's face. Looks like Nico's starting to figure out the track. We had to cut the qualifying short today due to scheduling problems, but it looks like Nico is getting the gap back a little bit smaller, just ever so slightly. Beckett Friesen only 2/10 away from Nico now. All right, we're going to go to Beckett Friesen and see what the gap is looking like. Looks like the gap has remained steady. But it looks like there's some track cutting going on, so we're going to have to call an emergency yellow. Emergency yellow. Anybody who doesn't obey the emergency yellow will be receiving a 15-second penalty. So all drivers are going to have to slow down to 25 miles an hour. Oh, and Nico Sarfati off the track under the double caution yellow. Looks like it's going to be a single file restart. Looks like it's going to be a single file restart going on here. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to the external camera for this start. And it's green, green, green. Driver's coming out of turn 1. Beckett Friesen going a little bit to the outside. Does he make it stick? Oh, and they're around. Oh, shit. All right, it looks like that's going to be another double yellow. Massive accident coming out of turn 2. We're going to have to go to the replays and look at that later and see who was the cause of all of that mayhem. All right. Looks like the drivers are going to stay under the double yellow until the end of the 4th turn. Beckett Friesen coming up to the 4-corner turn. After they exit this turn, it looks like Beckett Friesen's going to get on the gas and get the hell out of there before any trouble happens to him. All right, and we're almost green, green, green. Beckett Friesen white lining the 1st corner. We got Nico Sarfati on the outside. Jared Clark slides in. Half the field goes wide coming out of that corner. Inside line got an amazing run coming out of that corner. Beckett Friesen been practicing here all the offseason, really making his time stick for today's race. Jared Clark also grinding this track on the offseason. We've seen him out here a few times, but he's been coming out with some impressive lap times, almost enough to almost shunt the track record holder, Beckett Friesen. Beckett Friesen building a gap on Andrew Hitchcock, and behind him immediately is going to be Nico Sarfati. Looks like Gio Cardone has decided to rejoin the race finally. He's sitting in a comfortable 4th place, but a bit of a gap in those. We're going to go on board with Jared Clark now. See what's happening with the rest of the field as Beckett Friesen builds in a massive gap to the rest of the group. Andrew Clark looking to the inside of Cardone, shunts him a little bit wide. Are they going to decide to work together, or are they going to battle it out for this next turn? We'll see what the decision-making is going to be of these two drivers. Oh, and Andrew Clark a little bit wide. Oh, a massive accident happening. We're going to have to keep this a green flag due to time constraints of the race director / commentator. Beckett Friesen has a massive gap. Approximately, I would say, even a 4-second gap. Looks like Nico Sarfati has rejoined the track at the worst time possible, getting right into the way of Jared Clark on a heater lap. Next time by, we have 3 to go. Jared Clark flying through the chicane section into the hairpin. And who's that in front of him? It looks to be Andrew Hitchcock. All right, we're going back to the overall cameras around the track to look at what's going on with the racing. We're going to watch Jared Clark around here and see what's going to happen with Nico Sarfati directly behind him. Andrew Hitchcock sitting in a 2nd place. I don't even know how he did that. Oh, and it looks like he's cutting the track. He's right on the bumper now. Jared Clark slightly cutting the track to keep that lead on Nico Sarfati. Nico Sarfati getting a hell of a draft going up into this back section. Let's see if he's going to make the move. And he makes the move. Is he going to make it stick? No. Jared Clark crosses him up to the back section. Now they're coming onto the front straightaway with Nico still probably a 10th down to him now. Beckett Friesen still sitting a little bit comfortable. Oh, it looks like Andrew Hitchcock's getting up there now. We're going to go ahead and switch to following Beckett Friesen on the overall cameras. Open. Andrew's right on the bumper of him now. Let's see what's going to happen coming out of this corner. Is Beckett going to defend, or is... Oh, and it looks like Andrew might be looking to the inside. Nope, he doesn't. That's a smart move, honestly, because it would be better to just go onto the straight and pass him. Looks like Beckett's giving the signal to work on it. Try and build a gap to the rest of the group so he doesn't get absolutely freight trained down the back of the front straightaway. Andrew Hitchcock tucking in there, making sure to give a little bit of a shunt if he can. Oh, and he shoves him a little wide. We're going to have to look at that afterwards. Beckett Friesen rejoins the track without any incidents. But it looks like Andrew Hitchcock has about a 0.5 of a second advantage. When they cross the line, we have 3 to go. Oh, and it looks like Andrew Hitchcock gets the pass underneath. Nico Sarfati runs wide, but still... Oh, Jared gets him back. Beckett Friesen is still out in the lead with about a 0.2 of a second gap to Andrew Hitchcock, I would say. Andrew Hitchcock probably going to be looking to get back in that draft and not make any mistakes on this back section, so he can maybe make a move down the back straight. Oh, and he's gone right back there now, but a little bit of a hiccup there over the curve of that hairpin. Let's see what's going to happen. And it looks like Jared Clark has rejoined in the front. Jared Clark getting a little bit in the dirt. 3 to go. 2 to go. 2 to go. Oh, and he goes wide. That's going to hold up Andrew and allow Beckett to slot right back in. The field has been super close now. A little bit of a shot. We're going to have to look at that on the replay cameras after this. And it looks like Nico looks down the outside. They're 3 wide into the back section. Everybody's collected. Looks like we're going to have to do a double yellow going on to the last lap. 2 to go. Everybody double yellow. We're going to have to do a single file restart. All right. Oh, and Jared Clark gets turned around by a racing incident, it looks like. No intention, obviously, there. Beckett Friesen's still out in front. We are time constrained. This is going to be the last lap this time around. All right. This is the last lap. This last section of the track is going to be the last lap. Beckett Friesen holding a little bit of an outside, or taking the inside now, opening the corner back up so he doesn't get a shit run onto the straightaway. Andrew Hitchcock directly behind him. Jared Clark and Gio Cardone hung out to dry, but it looks like Jared gets a little bit of a draft. Beckett Friesen takes the inside. Does Andrew get it around? Nope, and he goes off. Jared Clark taking that spot back. We're going into the last section of the corner here. Beckett Friesen taking the inside line, it looks like. Oh, he's going to white line it into the back section. Let's see what Nico has to say about that. Oh, and Nico goes wide. There's going to be track time penalties on board. Oh, and half the field crashes on the last turn. Beckett Friesen almost had that in the bag, but now he's going to have to finish in last. But we'll see what happens after penalties.